In Aleppo, you don't see that much destruction at once. Very, very conservative. It was run by the rebels for 15 years. For ammunition, for a machine gun.
No, don't.
I had to stop because in this town that we are, already there's a lot of military people to use as a shooting position. Again, all the windows, concrete up. Ah, aqui é para cobrir?
I record him. He's thankful for your hair.
Very good. This is like the main center of Idlib and right in front of the museum. Here they're still using Turkish Lira inside Syria. Pay for the breakfast and our change is in Turkish Lira. There's one I took a picture. I'm gonna show you, like, was a military shop essentially. Hello everyone, welcome to another video from out of your comfort zone. My name is Rodrigo.
And Nikki. And I'm Lotus.
And Lotus is still with us. We are here in Syria still. We were in Aleppo and this time going to Idlib. Idlib, remember, is the capital of the rebellion here. Remember, we were in Kandahar in Afghanistan and was the birthplace of the Taliban, the most conservative city in the world. Idlib is for Syria what Kandahar is for Afghanistan. Very, very conservative. It was run by the rebels for 15 years. Some rebels literally aligned to Al-Qaeda. And now, exactly 1 year ago, they expanded, they took over the whole city. Just 1 second here. Right now, you're just in Ariha, temporary. And
No, don't.
I had to stop because in this town that we are, already there's a lot of military people, some of the ex-rebels or rebels still. So that's it's going to be a problem because, as I was saying, it's still a lot of fighters there, a lot of rebels. Some of them, they are not even from Syria. They are from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq. And so...
Or maybe just the clarification, ex-fighters, ex-rebels. They're not actively...
Yeah, because now they're in power, right? Like they are the ones running the whole show here in Syria. They deposed Bashar al-Assad in 2 weeks war, and now they run the show. Even though the new president, which was the leader of the rebels, is a little bit more progressive, let's say it's getting a little more progressive. Some of the rebels are still here in Idlib, not so much. So we will see how much you're gonna film, how much you can film, and we're gonna discover, find out together.
And figure out how uncomfortable Lotus and I will be today.
That's true,
We're
because
prepared to cover if we must, but...
if you saw our videos from Aleppo, they were like, you know, like normal hair, whatever, just enjoying. And Aleppo, you have a Christian community, you have a Kurdish community, you have a Armenian community. Here, a little bit more complicated. So let's see if they're gonna have to wear headscarves and everything's gonna be. Yeah, we just saw women like almost all covered. We're gonna find out together.
Oh, it actually has a sad story.
All the solar panels, again, so many. All destroyed and then new. Pretty good roads. Look at what the wind does to the trees.
Yeah,
so strong. Then it got all bended.
Straight to Latakia.
Here in Idlib.
Love him a lot, yeah. Because they let people like us sit down. Yeah.
And here in this town, like we're going up the hill,
Yeah,
still a
see,
lot
yeah.
of destruction. All the goats. Wow.
Oh my god.
They took over the places. And you see a lot of destruction here. We are not in Idlib yet. We are just in the city close by, but there's a lot of destruction here because we're on the top of a hill. And as you probably know, most of the combat happens on top of mountains because everyone, whether the enemy or the rebels or the government, they wanna keep their positions, conquer the high grounds because you have a much better view to defend the high grounds from any enemy that's coming up. So that's why you see so much destruction here. In Aleppo, you don't see that much destruction at once. You see a few places here and there, but they reconstructed most of the things. Here, no, it's still quite beat up. Even the roads are still like not super proper cleaned because there's too much rubble. Look like you're getting into a post-apocalyptic place. Just destruction everywhere. So Lotus, her family had a house here because this is kind of like a mountain resort. So they had a second house here. And now we are gonna see how is it inside.
Yeah, but that...
Because Turkey is just there. We can see Turkey.
Yeah, so he said usually there's a nice view. But
It's about
It's very foggy today.
20 kilometers straight.
Uh-huh.
Turkish coast.
Wow.
20 kilometers.
Yeah. And crazy, you can still find this is like a ammunition for a machine gun. Incredible. There's still stuff here after 1 year after the end of the war. Have ammunition here. Like you have military stuff here. So you see, as they use that, everything's completely destroyed here and they use for defense. Whoever was here, I don't know if it was the rebels or the government troops, they close off all the windows, right? Like with concrete because they need to use for defense. And maybe they just a small hole to have like a weapons position, but everything else is concrete. Here was like probably a glass window. They put blocks concrete here to close to protect the place to use as a shooting position. Again, all the windows concrete up. So again, this is not Idlib yet, it's Ariha. We stopped here to show like the destruction. And the best way to move around between rooms to avoid sniper fire, you build a hole in between the walls and you just cross through the walls without exposing you. Like for the white helmets like we saw yesterday in Aleppo. And over there behind, everything was pulverized completely. Like you can barely see the rubble. It's like just about dust. Because both the rebels and the government troops were here. Like all the buildings were exchanging hands. That's why they're so destroyed, the buildings. I think to see that there are already some restaurants, some bars that are opening up. They're new. And since this area was occupied by the rebels, a lot of support from the Turkish government, they don't accept Syrian pounds here because they didn't have access to the currency. So they actually use Turkish Lira. It's still here in this region because they're pretty close by to Idlib, even if it's not Idlib itself, but it was also occupied by the rebels. So this whole area, this rebel area here was essentially also controlled by Turkey. I'm gonna show you. Coming here, you can see still Turkish foreign operation bases. It's still like not checkpoints, but there are foreign operation bases where they kind of control the area here. They know who is going, who's coming. Almost like a mini Turkey. Oh, wow. Still here. Oh, okay. So it's crazy to think that 1 year after the liberation, there is still Turkish troops presence here inside Syria. Yeah, Turkish base here apparently. Ah yeah, for sure the flag is there. It's a Turkish flag. And Lotus were saying there's a lot of people from Chechnya here because they can be very fundamentalists. So they're here all the way in Syria fighting because they also hated Russia and the rebels were fighting against Russia. So the good Chechens, I would say, they hate Russia, not the ones that are like sold out to their country now to Russia. And we are finally in Idlib, the city itself. Have the same posters that they have in Aleppo.
But it's the old one.
So we just arrived here and we're having breakfast. Looks beautiful, beautiful. And the falafel, something I didn't know. This is pomegranate sauce. So a little bit sweet, tiny sweet,
good.
but it's very, very good. And obviously with hummus. Arabic coffee, which is very similar to Turkish coffee. The rest of the coffee stays all the way here, like the powder-ish, like I don't know how to say in English. It's very strong if you haven't tried yet. All of these was $10.
For 4 people, yeah.
4 people and we couldn't finish. Really good. Little square here, like a little center of Aleppo. See a lot of military stores here in Idlib. Funny. A lot of stores like this, military stuff and everything here because they were all getting ready eventually, you know, for combat, and they did. Ah, aqui é para cobrir?
I record him. He's thankful for your hair.
Ah, yeah. It's funny, the kid over there, all the women here, they're very, very much covered. So most of the women are covered completely, just the eyes outside. Some of them, you can see the faces, but...
Bem rápido, pode gravar mais super rápido aqui. É ilegal, armas ilegais e impulso.
Ah, legal. A mesquita. Lojona, tudo da nova Síria, as bandeiras, tudo mais da Síria. E a bandeira branca, que é aquela, que é bem parecida com o do Talibã TB, lá no Afeganistão. Yeah, so that's the main square here in Idlib. I gotta say, not that easy to record here. A lot of people looking at them. Yeah, you're attracting way too much attention, so it's hard to be discreet recording. And I felt like even harder here than in Kandahar, the birthplace of Taliban in Afghanistan. And I think also the difference is like the war finished in Afghanistan 3-4 years ago, and here was literally 1 year ago. So they have some paratroopers, like pictures, propaganda there.
I was going to Al-Aqsa.
Jumping Al-Aqsa.
Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem.
So this is essentially like we are attacking, occupying Al-Aqsa Mosque inside Israel, inside Jerusalem.
Protecting it. No, not attacking.
Well, like they're jumping with.
They want to take it back from Israel, I guess, is what it's saying.
They are parachuting inside Al-Aqsa. That's yeah.
Pick up Israelis.
Interesting. So yeah, it was a little bit more I don't know there, because here it's still really fresh everything. So 1 year ago it seems like more, I don't know, not tense. Yeah. And Kandahar, like the Taliban, they wanted us more or less there. They wanted to protect us. They want tourists, and here it's more like a no man's land a little bit. If you watch our Aleppo video, like they have all of that, that's propagandas, because literally tomorrow is gonna be 1 year of the liberation of Syria. The rebels starting from here, from Idlib, to cover the whole country in 2 weeks. And you see all the flags here now commemorating. Again, here it's almost like no man's land, because there's so many foreign fighters from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, Chechnya, from Iraq and everything. So it's hard to see, like one guy can be cool with you and the other guy can be completely ass and cause you trouble. So it's good to avoid too much expositions here. Idlib Museum, it's closed today.
Syria الجديدة للكل means new Syria for everyone.
So the sign essentially says a new Syria for everyone. And I had to run here to take a picture to film. This is like the main center of Idlib, and right in front of the museum, right over there. It's a beautiful sign. I hope it's gonna become true, right? And why not some espresso?
Arab coffee.
So Shadias, it's this famous dessert here that you can get at the Hapush, in this restaurant here in Idlib. And look at that, it's very rich. Good. I'm excited. Here we have it. Nice. Shukran Katir. Thank you. Wow.
Cheers.
Cheers. There's a cream, dough, pistachio.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's bom. Então aqui, como eles fazem o que a gente acabou de comer, com doce e pistácio ali. Salam alaikum. How are you? Oh, pistácio, so good. And creme. Então esses daqui que a gente viu ele preparando ali, pode passar direto por aqui, pode ser só pistácio esse, ou que nem um deles, que tem pistácio em cima. Very good. So the dessert place is right over there by the side of the mural and Idlib Museum. So it's literally 30 seconds walking, and you're gonna have one of the best desserts of your life. So as I mentioned, it's true. Here they're still using Turkish Lira inside Syria. Pay for the breakfast, and our change is in Turkish Lira. It's a problem because if you leave this Idlib area, what are you gonna do with that? Unless you're gonna go to Turkey. But you can exchange probably in Aleppo or here or any other place, because they know that, they know the situation. They haven't changed yet back to the Syrian money, because one, if you saw my video from Aleppo, to buy like a coffee, depends, or a meal, you need that much of bills because it's so devaluated. Two, Turkey has a lot of influence here. You saw the military bases, the outposts and everything. So maybe the more countries that use your currency, or more places that use your currency, the better it is for your currency. So that's why they haven't changed yet. People are used to that and they're fine. Plus, could be some of the currency still today in Syria has a face of Bashar al-Assad, and maybe they don't want that. Now we are going to Sarmadan, close to the Turkish border. Apparently it's a little bit more liberal, progressive over there.
No, it's just more modern. It's not more liberal.
Just more modern. So, my mistake. Just more modern in terms of modernity, not so much in terms of social and religious issues. Also, when we left the dessert place, because I was recording everywhere, it's a bit my fault. We got into the car and some guy came and started taking note of the license plate. And we were like, then tried to find the guy to ask, well, why did you take note of my license plate? But the guy vanished. So again, it's a little bit tense because they have no tourists whatsoever here in Idlib. Foreign tourists, nothing, zero. Like there's a convoy with drones and machine guns. And maybe it's for the celebration tomorrow.
عيد التحرير. هذا عرض عسكري.
And they already have drones. Apparently they used a lot of drones to liberate the country exactly 1 year ago. And don't need to be super technological, right? If it does the job, it works. Ah, that's the one we saw in Idlib, Amor.
We saw them coming.
We were in Idlib yesterday and we saw this convoy coming, exactly the same cars. A little bit hard to see, but those are all propaganda posters for the December 8th, which is the Liberation Day, which is literally gonna be tomorrow, actually, not in 2 days, tomorrow. They have a modern mall there. Interesting. This is a modern mall, pretty close to Idlib, and funny thing, most of these brands here are Turkish brands. Inside Syria, that again shows the influence of Turkey here in the northern part of Syria, northwest part of Syria. And obviously the flag. The Islamic flag. This is an apartment complex where you can invest, buy a house here, an apartment. And this is pretty close to Idlib, a normal shopping mall. Like a rug store, very beautiful colors. It's very famous in this region here, right? So even the TVs here, this TV, the brand Omvo is a Turkish brand. If you're from Turkey and watching this video, let me know if it's a good quality TV. Looks nice, at least the colors. But see, everything here is Turkish. It's a massive Turkish supermarket as well. Very good as well. So I found like pina colada soft drink here. Pretty cool. And I'm gonna have it 40 cents of a dollar. This supermarket is pretty good. And all the prices are in actually US dollars. And here in the northern part of the Idlib province, you still have refugees camps. You can see the United Nations Refugee Agency, the symbol over there. And you can see over here as well, much more like makeshift camps. A lot of cars here, like car shops. And I guess because they all come from Turkey, they cross the border and then people start selling them here or fixing them here. Turkish border is right over there, super close. And here the rebels, like I said, there were many different groups of rebels. HTS, it was more in Idlib. In this town close to the Turkish border was more the Free Syrian Army that had a lot of support from Turkey. Again, at the end of the day, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they kind of joined forces to fight against Bashar al-Assad. But the Free Syrian Army was a little bit more liberal, progressive, and not so fundamentalist like the HTS. Turkey is right there, but obviously you're not going to Turkey today. The advertisement here again for the commemorations of 1 year of liberation in 1 day, and the fighter hugging the little baby there. You are the beginning of the story. Yeah.
What's that?
A park.
Public garden.
Okay.
Oh wow, everything is done. And we are back in Aleppo. There's a military base there. We just saw that the stadium here in Aleppo and was used to store Iranian weapons there, and it was bombed by Israel. They had to rebuild part of the stadium. So we are back here in the hotel in Aleppo. Unfortunately, we couldn't record as much as I wanted in Idlib because we felt a little bit
Weird vibe.
yeah, a lot of eyes on us.
Yeah.
I would say, and you can correct me, every single woman that we saw were looking at them like turning around. Yeah.
And not always like some places like this that are more conservative, like Afghanistan, it was honestly curiosity. But there it felt like, maybe a little more
Judging.
judgments. And that was what, we were there with locals as well. So it's not like we were just, and even they felt a little uncomfortable. The experience was a little intense as well.
Yeah, because they're from Aleppo, and Aleppo, as we mentioned, there are people from all ethnicities, all religions and everything, backgrounds, so it's a little bit more open, and you see a lot more women not wearing hijab here.
Majority, I would say, wear hijab, but the difference is they don't care if you don't wear hijab.
Yeah.
Whereas in Idlib, it felt
Yeah.
like they cared, yeah.
So at least gave a good taste of what it is, like, I'm saying like the Kandahar of Syria, because it's kind of like, feels like.
That's what the
today.
Syrians called it. That's literally what our Syrian friends said. So
Yeah.
we're not making that up.
Like very conservative. Even 1 year after the revolution, the whole revolution in 2011 started in Dara, south of Damascus. But the last push 1 year ago to bring down Bashar al-Assad government to liberate the country started there with all the rebels there. So, but everyone knew that there were a lot of fundamentalists there. So I think it opened up a little bit maybe in the last 1 year, but not much.
I mean, we could get in, whereas in the past, which like our Syrian friends would not have been able to get in, for
Yeah.
example. I don't know if we could have in the past, honestly.
A lot of weapon stores, a lot
Yeah.
of military equipment stores. There's one I took a picture, I'm gonna show you, like was a military shop essentially, like in Arabic and Russian actually, selling weapons there, but we felt weird. Plus we saw the posters about wearing the hijab and how you
Yeah.
shouldn't and everything. And again, before someone on the internet, like the keyboard warriors, say no, you should have
Culturally sensitive.
should have worn the hijab and everything. It's not the law here in Syria right now that you have to wear hijab, like in Iran. And even
Or
Iran
Afghanistan.
or Afghanistan. And even in Iran is opening up. They are not checking anymore. The morality police is not asking women to wear hijab in Iran because they protest. So it works. So it's would be weirder for that 17-year-old boy as someone on the internet say, no, you should wear hijab. Yeah, you're not here. You're not there. And especially if you're a man, you shouldn't tell a woman what they should and should not wear.
I think the important thing, like if you want to wear hijab, of course wear the hijab, but it needs to be a choice.
Yeah.
There didn't feel like it was the choice necessarily. We felt like, oh, this is I don't know.
But I like the trip a lot. It's a good different part of the country, like all this Turkish influence as well. Like we learned a lot today. That's it. And don't forget, we have a lot of more videos about Syria. We have a lot of videos from Aleppo.
Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the fall of the previous regime. So Assad has been gone for 1 year as of tomorrow.
It's gonna be a massive party, massive celebration. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna have a video about that. We're also gonna go to Latakia, where the Alawite community mostly live, which is the community that Bashar al-Assad, the previous government, the previous president, the dictator, belonged to. So it's a little bit more weird, and there was in Latakia, so they are not so much in favor, so happy with the current government. There was some skirmish between the Alawites and people from the current government. Some people died. Wasn't great. So let's see actually if we're gonna be able to visit Latakia.
We have to watch the situation, I guess, before we decide.
Yeah, and you still have a Russian naval base over there, so things are interesting. We will see, hopefully. And finally, Damascus, the capital. We're gonna visit as well a couple of days, and we're gonna have videos about that as well. And I hope you learn a lot as well. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if we said anything wrong and you'd like to leave in the comments area the correction, please do so. Always like in a civilized way, like let's have an adult conversation in the comments area. There's no problem whatsoever. What?
Like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, sure, remind me, yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe it. As you can see, it's still a small channel, so every like and every subscribe really helps the channel grow. Alright, until the next time, thank you.